Welcome back, my DIY nomads. How are you guys all doing today? Sorry that I was away last week. I took a week off, which is, I know in YouTube term means that you basically have 2 weeks without seeing a video, but I took a week off because I was just basically getting a bunch of work done, you know, to keep money in the bank, and also had some time off over Easter with family. I'll show you one of my creepier jobs that I do in the background. I'll show you in a second. It's getting very close now to Camp Quirky. I'm actually, as the days get, as it gets closer and closer, the excitement's building. I cannot wait to go to Camp Quirky and see, well, if any of you guys are going, can't wait to see you guys, can't wait to get some mad inspiration off some of the absolute hidden geniuses that are out there. There's going to be some great stuff. I'm going to take my little micro kitchen. I want to hopefully provide inspiration to others, as well as getting lots of inspiration from you lot that are down there. Also going to meet up with Greg Virgoe. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know Greg. So what I need to do is I need to start properly finishing off my camper van. I need to insulate the 2 rear doors. I need to insulate and panel, and I also need to panel off the sliding door and do a few other little jobs. And I'm also going to run through the electric scooter with you guys today, and I'll show you what I did to it. So one of the regular questions I get asked is, what do I do to earn a living? And there's quite a few things I do to earn livings. One of them is I've been assigned to basically recondition, relove and repurpose, well, I say repurpose, just basically fix up these animatronic snowmen. Now the reason why it gets creepy is that you get to the point where you start to take them apart and they start to look a bit like this, and then they start to look a bit like this. And the worst bit about it is once you de-skin the head, you get stuff like this creepy skull. Anyway, yeah, this was one of the jobs I had over Easter. I'd taken on a few commissions from some garden centres to look after the animatronics, re-love them, recondition them so that they're basically they're starting to show their age, because, you know, being on over the whole Christmas period is going to have a toll on any electrical device really, so they just need a bit of love. I now have 2 epically insulated doors which are ready for cladding. I just found out that I put the insulation too close to the edge here, so it was interfering with the rubber surround when it closes, so it wouldn't be watertight. So I've had to push it in about 1 inch all the way around the top and the inside seam on both of them, and now the doors close perfectly. So something I built in the background while I was doing all this stuff was this, and I've painted it white already. It's just like literally a little corner piece that is going to fit up here. It provides a bit more storage. This wall is going to eventually be painted white as well. It provides a bit more storage, and it sort of tidies up this corner area a bit more, and I was thinking that I'd probably look at trying to find maybe like some sort of fabric or a small piece of like that spray-on adhesive carpet, automotive carpet, sorry, that I can put behind there just to shield away the foil insulation. It's loosely in there and I need to do a bit of adjusting, but as a visual. I've just got a couple of screws in there just to hold it in place. It looks really cool, actually. I think once this wall is white as well, it'll blend in really nicely. I probably will need to adjust the position of the LED light bar though, because the way that will span out, that might cast a actually no, it should be alright actually. It'll probably just cast a shade just under this bottom edge, but I think we might be alright. Now before I crack on with actually cladding the top part so it matches in with the rest of the bedroom area, I thought I'd just talk about the electric scooter that I'm planning to put into the back of the scooter. Into the back of the van, sorry. I put a lot of work into this thing. Even had to, I actually did the welding myself. You know how I said before I'd probably have to find someone? Well, with a bit of advice from a friend of mine, and a little bit of like supervision, I did the welding myself, and I'm really, really chuffed. I'm really glad I did that. It was absolutely terrifying because I'm not a big fan of electric shocks, and something from a welder that's like end game electric shocks. But honestly, I had a really good time doing it. It's a scary, scary thing to do. It deserves a lot of respect, like with most power tools. But for me, I think, for me personally, I'm fine with like big saws and all that sort of grinders and all that sort of stuff. Grinders are quite scary though, but welding, like, for me, it's like a next level. Right, so the electric scooter. So here's my baby. I've taken the seat off while I make the seat longer so me and Soap can sit on. I've had it like just to trundle around a little bit really. It's 2000 watts, which is stupidly powerful. It's in a hubless motor in the back, so literally the motor, the wheel itself, that is the motor inside, and that's 2000 watts, runs on 60 or 72 volt, I think it's 72 volt, might be 72 volt, lithium ion pack that's in this box underneath. Just uses like an e-bike speed controller, which runs to like a proper like twist throttle here. Got a horn, 3 speed settings, hydraulic brakes, good to go. Oh, and I've got key ignition, but I've modified. There was like a weird, horrible like alien box on here. I've modified it, removed the rubbish light that was in it, and put it in an electrician's sort of junction box with the key bit in the ignition bit at the bottom here. I just basically drilled 2 holes in the back side of here, so it bolts onto the side of this frame here, so I can remove it any time, which I need to respray this bit. This thing is fantastic. It goes 35 miles an hour on flat ground. That's not even like, it goes 35 miles an hour, but that's not like, it doesn't feel like it's struggling. It like gets up to it pretty quick and then it just sort of sits there, almost like it's restricted, but you don't really feel it like dropping off. So it's like a really nice balance, I think. It has a really good range, really decent range as well. I've got 20 amp hour battery, so it I'd probably get like 20 or 30 miles out of it, which is fantastic. It cost me about 500 quid. I got this thing like well over a year ago, maybe even 2 years ago, and it has been one of the best buys I've ever made. I saw something like this on Pinterest, did some research, found out there's a company called Screwser in Europe, like a German company I'm pretty sure, and they were building literally what you just saw is exactly what they're selling. Except for they're selling it 5,000 euros per unit, and you know, fair play, I totally get it. They're building it in a European country, there's lots more regulations and laws. It's probably better quality than my one, better quality steels, etc. But I'm not going to pay 5 grand for it, so I got it for 500 quid from Alibaba, which is like Chinese eBay. Never looked back. It is just a blast. Such a great way to get around. So this is why I wanted to put it in the back of the van, because it opens up a whole new level of life in the van. We can park up, find a really cool spot to park up. We can park up outside of town. We can park up somewhere cool inside of town, and then like take this so we don't lose our parking spot. Now the main worry about having the scooter was the height of it. It was a good decent amount higher than this, probably 12-15 centimeters taller, which meant that it didn't fit under the bed, and I wasn't going to build the bed based on the scooter height. So this bit here, I had to take off the bit that was holding the handlebars and chop off the bearing housing bit at the top, then lop off this massive bit of steel here So you can imagine it had all of that extra height on top. So it was like way up there. Hacked off the top of that, hacked out this bit, and then re-welded on the bearing housing bit at the top there again. That wasn't the only issue. The wheel is surrounded by this bracket here that has a shaft going through the centre of there. At the top of that shaft was this like sort of mildly complexed machined piece on the end. It's got an M24 thread here. It's got a M10 bolt thread there, and it's had this piece cut out. What I had to do was very carefully measure out this piece, and then I used my grinder to cut out this section here, and then I sort of did most of it, and then I used some hand files to really just take it down to where I needed to. Then I had a flat surface to drill this hole, which I drilled. I have some taps, and I tapped that, and then I searched down for someone that had an M24 tap. I know this is all very, I'm telling you all about the whole process, which I know is very specialized, and not a lot of you are going to have the facilities to do any of this, but I just wanted to show you what I was sort of the effort I was putting into getting this scooter into the van. But the good thing is, once I get this quick release bit for the top here, these handlebars will be able to come out straight away, and I'll be able to put this on a little ramp that will slide down this bit, and then the front wheel will go underneath this like sort of step / seat. That way I can take my electric scooter with us everywhere and have a really useful mode of transport. And I can charge it up off the inverter, which is great. So this is what we want to achieve. This is cladding on the top, ply down bottom, which will hopefully get painted white like it is here in the future. We just need to do it to this side now. And yeah, it'll look really nice in the back there. Something you guys might have picked up on is that I've used these like socket head bolts for the ply and then screws for the wood. I am going to change these over, but the sort of pan head screws that I want to use, they weren't in stock, so I'm having to wait a little bit longer for them to arrive, but they are the same thread size, so they will just go directly in place. But for now I just wanted to get this sort of up and insulated. I think I'm going to cut that video there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, please leave a like, and if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe. The channel's growing really quickly at the moment and I'm loving it, so thank you so much, and I'll catch all of you DIY nomads next week.